stuff is a team effort, right?
Yeah.
And I'm curious, so at least to my knowledge, it seems this seems like the first book that really depicts Loki as more gender fluid as opposed to their previous books and their previous
Yes.
appearances. So I'm curious, what were was that a conversation that you guys all had when beginning this book about Loki, or?
No, no, that was just Al's decision, basically.
Mhm.
I mean, in uh, the design from for the uh, I don't know how to call it, but to call them basically, but
Mhm.
the regular Loki that appears in the first issue, that there is a design. I don't remember the name of the artist. I'm sorry, but that design already exists on
Mhm.
in other in Loki's books. So, but I think that Al decided to push the binary look,
Yeah.
and they are supposed to constantly from panel to panel. Some panels they look more feminine, in other panels they look more masculine, but you can't really, you are not supposed to completely define them.
Yeah,
You
100%.
are you're as a reader, you are their faces constantly shifting, and not you're not really sure, so which is a challenge. Actually, it's
Mhm.
a challenge to do the same way we are challenged by the notion of non-binary people, and we need to expand our minds and our concepts and go beyond the binary. The same way we have, or at least we should entertain the idea that people can be gender non-conforming and non-binary, and there's
Mhm.
absolutely nothing wrong with that, and we can all live in peace and just be happy with
Mhm.
ourselves and with others, and respect other types of every other type of life. um in the same way, it's hard to just make that switch in your brain, for an artist, for a traditional artist who is always trying to he I mean, I've always drawn men and women.
Yeah.
So when you face these type of characters, it's a challenge, but it's incredibly fun. And
Mhm.
when it works, and people, and I've received praise from non-binary people who are having the time of their lives again, enjoying being represented by Loki. I
Mhm.
mean, it's fantastic. It's incredibly rewarding, and yeah, I mean, it's awesome. It's awesome.
Yeah.
I really like it. And then we took that concept, and we just we amplified it when we did the design. So yeah, I mean, it's fantastic.
Yeah, I
But
love
yeah,
it.
it was there wasn't really a discussion about it,
Mhm.
or maybe Al and the editors had that discussion, but I didn't. We just I just from the start, the first script was clear about that Loki was non-binary, so I just went with it. So I
Mhm.
just ran with it. So yeah,
Yeah,
there
I
there
love
there,
that
there
so much. I
wasn't.
mean, that's
Mm,
something that's super important to us, and I know it's super important to, a lot of people in the community, and I think that
yeah,
the way you guys do it, and especially the way you draw it, because I mean, ultimately, like, again, Al is amazing, and I think that's also amazing too, how you're saying it wasn't really a conversation. Like, Al decided
no,
that
not
that's
really.
how it
Mm,
always was. So I love that. But again, you got to give yourself credit, because I love the way in which you depict it. I think is amazing,
mm,
and how you're talking about how it changes from panel to panel. And I think,
yeah,
again, the way in which you draw it is just phenomenal. And again, I think it's so
thank you.
important to have those characters, and like you're saying, to make it it's just normal, right? It's just a
Yeah,
normal
yeah.
character. And so
And
I tip my
also,
hat off to you, man. I think that's just
thank
awesome.
you. I'm not too too knowledgeable about myths and lore and stuff.
Hmm.
Myths from real life. I mean, not fictional.
Yeah.
And you have characters that are non-binary.
Hmm.
There are cultures that have people who are non-binary, and there's I mean, it's perfectly normal.
Yeah.
We just we on our our Western understanding of stuff, we are incredibly binary.
Hmm.
Our understanding of the world and our human experience is absolutely binary.
Hmm.
But there are many cultures and many characters or gods, call it whatever you want, from myths, that are, because they transcend our human vessels and
Hmm.
concepts. So why wouldn't a god be a non-binary
Yeah.
creature, entity, call it whatever
Hmm.
you want? So it's so, I don't know, it's so limited, the understanding that
Yeah.
it has to be one or the other. It's so limited and so
Hmm.
basic that it's almost an offense to what a god would be.
Yeah.
So yeah,
It really is. And especially Loki. I mean, for,
yeah.
my people out there that are familiar with Norse mythology, which I'm sure you've read a lot on recently, but I mean,
Well,
Loki
yeah. No,
Loki gets with like a eight-legged
I'm learning.
horse and
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
You don't have a problem. You have no problem with the idea of a character turning into whatever, turning into animals and having all the powers in the world, and going through different dimensions or whatever.
Hmm.
All of that is fine.
Oh,
But
that's
as soon
cool.
as all that's cool, but as soon as you make it non-binary, then I have a problem. With
Yeah.
that, I have a problem. So nah, I
It
mean, I
just
don't
so
know. Fuck
yeah.
off. I'm
Say it
sorry.
again. No,
I don't
please
know.
say it again,
I don't know
Martin.
if I
Say it
can
again.
curse, but
Please
I
curse, man. Yes.
fuck off.
Fuck off,
Fuck off.
dude.